guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be doing kind of a indie spotlight slash Instagram made me buy it. I have been seeing this one brand on Instagram for a while now. I've really been eyeing them over like the last couple of months. The brand is called CAKED Beauty. I saw Taylor Wynn mention them in a full face of any brands that she did about a month ago, and she showcased the bronzer, highlighter, blush, which is in a bundle. It's one of the things that I did pick up. What really caught my attention was this ad that I saw from the brand of Creme blushes, and they were in these cute little heart-shaped compacts that reminded me of the ones from Colourpop and also from Kimchi Chic. Both brands have blushes that come in little heart-shaped compacts. This is what they look like. What I did was I picked up the bundle. The prices on CAKED are actually really reasonable. If you're interested in trying out any of the Creme products, the blushes, the highlighters, the bronzers, I suggest getting the bundle. For all three, it was $25. There's a bronzer, a highlighter, and a Creme blush in here. It just comes in these really super cute little compacts. So sorry for the reflection on the ring light. These are called candy paint. The packaging is just absolutely adorable. Like I said, they come in little heart-shaped compacts here, and then this is the actual packaging, the outer cardboard that they came in. I mean, it's just so super cute. Details like this is what really caught my attention when I was seeing the ads on Instagram. I also grabbed the Pretty Precious 9 Pigment Eyeshadow Palette. On the cover, they have all of these cute little gems. This is what the color story is looking like. You have some mattes in here and then some jewel toned shimmers. I like the fact that this palette was more on the cool toned color story. I have a lot of palettes that are more warm toned, and I'm wanting to get more stuff into my collection that is cool toned, and I just really liked the way that these shades looked. This little green right here is just so pretty. I have done all of my makeup up until foundation and concealer. The only thing that I haven't done is set everything down with powder. I've never used a cream bronzer before. This is the cream bronzer. This one is in the purple compact. The blush and the highlighter come in the pink compacts. This shade is called Cubby. I think there are 5 or 6 shades. I don't remember exactly, but this is what Cubby looks like, and it looks a little deep in the pan. I did swatch it a little bit. Like, that's what it looks like, and it looks like it's actually going to not be so deep on the skin. It's very balmy in the way that it feels. Like I said before, I've never used a cream bronzer, so this will be my first experience with one. The closest that I have come to either a cream or a liquid bronzer was a tinted moisturizer that came in a BoxyCharm. It was a little bit too deep for me, so I've been kind of using that as a liquid bronzer, but other than that, this would be my first experience with one. So I thought it'd be best to blend it over foundation instead of trying to blend it over powder. That just kind of made sense to me. So I'm going to be using this angled flat brush. It's a little stiffer. This is from Beauty Bay. There is no number in the handle, so I don't know which one this is. But I'm going to go in to the bronzer. I'm going to blend a little bit on the back of my hand just to kind of make sure that I'm not getting too much on my face all at once. Because like I said, this is my first experience with this type of a product. And I'm just going to start laying it down where we normally place a bronzer. So I went on ahead and left my hair up too, so it'd be easier to do this. And I also figured that if I did it over, foundation and it ended up being a little bit too dark, then I could just use my powder and that would just kind of, melt everything together. But that's actually looking pretty decent. It's not looking too bad. It looks super deep in the compact, but it's not looking that deep on the face at all. Blend this into the foundation. Okay, I think I got a little bit too much there. I may have to kind of blend that out with a sponge. Take a little bit down the sides of the nose. It's a little more cool tone than I normally like in a bronzer. I do like something that's a little bit more on the warm side. All right, so that's actually looking pretty good. It blended in really well. I didn't really have an issue. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead, go off camera and set everything down with powder. I'm just gonna use my Milani Make It Last translucent setting powder here, and then we will come back and we'll test the blush and the highlighter over powder, because that is generally how I like to use a cream product. I have oily skin. I have to set everything down. If a cream blush or highlighter doesn't work well over powder, then it's usually not going to work out for me. So I'm curious to see how well this product is going to blend over everything once it's been set down. There were, I think, 6 shades of the cream blushes. The shade that I picked out is American Pie. This one is a really pretty kind of a red cherry pie. I'm on the search for a really good, truly pigmented red cream cream blush. The ones that I've used lately have kind of pulled more pink once they've been blended out. So I'm hoping this one will let down, and it's going to be just a vibrant red on the cheeks. I'm going to take a fluffy, slightly dampened sponge here. This one is the Total Face Sponge from e.l.f. It's one of my favorites. I'm just going to tap into the blush and then just slowly start blending it on my cheek. Sometimes I'll use a denser brush like this, but usually I just like to blend it on with a sponge. I find that they blend on a little bit better than that. It's definitely got a balmy feel to it. It feels very emollient. Interested in seeing what it looks like on the cheeks, so just a little bit. I'm just going to slowly start blending it. All right, already it's looking more pink. No, you can see that. Oh, that's disappointing. I noticed when I swatched it on my finger, it was looking more pink. It'd be nice to find a like red cream blush that actually looks red on the cheeks and not pink. The formula is actually blending out like beautifully. It looks gorgeous on the cheek. There's like a slight little bit of a glow, and it's blending beautifully. It does not feel like greasy or oily or like super emollient on the skin. I don't think it's going to set down. Pretty sure it's going to stay this particular texture, but it looks beautiful. I just wish that it was more red. That blended beautifully over powder. That was like effortless. I had no issue at all. Now we're going to test out the cream highlighter. This is called Sugar Cookie. I don't remember how many of the cream highlighter shades were. I think there were only 3 if I remember correctly. The only way that you can get the cream highlighter is in the bundle with the 3 products. This one is not separate. There is a powder highlighter and I think a liquid. Don't quote me on that. But to get the cream one, you have to own that one. You have to get by purchasing the bundle. You cannot get it separate. This one, as you can see, it's a really pretty kind of a lighter champagne. Texture feels exactly the same as the blush and the bronzer. It does look a little bit more transparent, a little sheer, not as opaque. All right, blending it on my hand, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of glow there. We'll see what we get on the face. I'm just going to blend this one on my cheek with my finger. This one feels extremely emollient, and I don't really see like a whole lot of opaqueness. There's a little bit of glow. It's not knocking my socks off or anything, but it's there. It's very, very subtle. Like I'm not really seeing like a super just glowy or wet looking cheek. That's what I was going for. If I'm using something that's this emollient, this balmy in texture, I expect to have like that very wet looking look to the cheek, and I don't feel like I'm getting that. It looks more, I'm trying to describe it. I'm trying to find the right words to describe it. It's like if you took a chapstick with just a little bit of a champagne shade to it and blended it over your cheek. That's what this feels like. As far as a highlighter, I'm not really thrilled with this texture. It's not really working for me. I'm going to prime my eyelids using my Milani eyeshadow primer. I didn't see any kind of an eyeshadow base or anything like that on their website. They do have like most products. There's liners in there, I think I saw eyeliners and brow products and stuff like that. While that sets down, let's go on ahead and do some quick swatches of this palette. It's funny because if you look in the back, you see these like multicolored, bright colored jewels, but obviously this is more of a muted, cool tone palette. It's not a whole lot of bright shades in here. But I just thought this was so pretty. It looks like there's only 3 mattes and then the rest are shimmers. So I'm just going to go by row and then we'll just kind of swatch them real quick and then see what they look like, and then I'll kind of go from there as far as what look I want to put together. All right, so from left to right we have Baby Love, Kitten, and Slow Burn. That first shimmer was actually pretty creamy, so that's what it looks like swatched. Oh, that is pretty. It's kind of like a granite brown. Very nice. So far this formula feels really, really pretty. On the second row we have Pinky Swear, Sparkling Heart, and Euphoria. So this is what these shades look like. I think I am definitely going to go with this kind of a emerald green here. That is just so pretty. On the last row we have Oh Darling, Delicate, and Twinkle Twinkle. This first one right here, Oh Darling, that one felt super creamy when I was swatching it. And this is just your kind of a basic eggshell setting shade. And that's kind of your basic kind of a caramel taupey. But this is what the color story looks like. Let's go on ahead and get to putting together a look. So the first thing I'm going to do is take Blend Bunny 5, and we are going to go into Baby Love. This beautiful kind of cool toned taupe shade in the top here, and I'm just going to lay that all over the lid. Oh, that's pretty. That's pigmented. It's blending right on out. There's like a slight bit of kind of a grayish, kind of a lilac undertone to it. That is beautiful. This is my first ever experience with any of the half-caked products. They're vegan and cruelty free. That's one of the things that attracted me to the brand. And that is just blending out beautifully. That is a gorgeous shade. I really found myself getting more into cool tones. I used to be only a warm toned girl. I would gravitate toward like warm tone shades, warm tone neutrals, and just kind of stay away from the cool tones. But I've really been loving lately how cool tones look on me. That is just beautiful. That is such a beautiful shade. I'm just going to take the same brush and dip into Oh Darling, and we're just going to focus that on the outer corner just to kind of deepen it just a little bit. This one is more of a deeper purple. Oh, that's pretty. I'm just going to focus that right in here, and then just softly blend it into the crease. And that's pretty much going to be our mattes. I am going to lay one of these shades down on my lower lash line, but other than that, that's all the work we're going to do with the matte shades, and then we're just going to jump right into these beautiful shimmers. Just taking the same brush, just diffusing the edges a little bit. I'm loving how easily this formula is blending out. I'm going to take that same Oh Darling shade on Blend Bunny 4, and I'm just going to lightly brush that along the lower lash line just to add a little bit more smokiness to this eye look. I'm going to take this flat brush from Essence, and we're going to take this and go into Euphoria, which is that beautiful jewel toned emerald green. I'm going to lay that on the lid, and then we'll take something else kind of towards the corner. I don't think I'm going to have to wet this. This shade was just so shiny and wasn't pigmented in the swatch. Oh, that is so beautiful. Just gorgeous, wet looking, shiny emerald jewel tone shade. Wow, that is beautiful. I am a sucker for a gorgeous, wet looking emerald jewel tone shade. And this one is beautiful. Opaque, shiny, wet looking on the lid. That is beautiful. Oh, that is stunning. I'm always curious as to how the formula will look with a finger application, so I'm going to take just a little bit and just press. That definitely amped up the shine just a bit, but this shade is just, it's stunning. I'm going to go back in with that first blender brush and just kind of blend the edges so we don't have any super harsh lines. I'm going to take the curved flat end of this double-sided BH Cosmetics brush, and what shade do I want to go in for that inner part? I think I'm going to take Twinkle Twinkle. This is beautiful, kind of a bronzy granite shade. Just want to lay that right in this area, carving out the top and blending it in to that Euphoria shade. Oh, that is stunning. Wow, that is beautiful. I think I'm just going to kind of let that be the inner corner highlight too. I don't think I need to add anything else in the middle. I think that is going to be enough. Wow. All right, that is looking absolutely beautiful. It's looking extremely magical. Oh, wow. That is just very celestial. I'm absolutely loving the way this is looking. I'm going to go off camera, throw on my liner and my lashes, and then we have one more product to test out. This is the Lip Fondant Liquid Lipstick. And this is the shade that I picked out. It's a really bright, vibrant red. I guess we're just going for a bold look today, but I'm going to throw on my liner, lashes, and we'll come back and we'll test this out. All right, lashes and liner are done. Everything will be down in the description box, what I used today. Let's go ahead and dive into this Lippie. The shade is called Stargirl, and it looks like it's a a bright red. I'm going to swatch it real quick just to see. It might be more of a fuchsia pink. I don't actually remember, so I do want to see what we're working with. Yeah, it is definitely a bright red. So we're going to be going with a full-on glam look today. I'm aligned with this Colourpop Lippie pencil in Overtime. All right, now for the Lip Fondant liquid lipstick. It has a slight bent, kind of a pointy triangular shaped doe foot. It's a thinner formula. It's definitely opaque. It's supposed to be a matte formula, so we're going to see if it dries down. Also, if it's like transfer resistant or not. It's a beautiful ruby red shade. I'm really liking the tone and the way that it looks on my lips. I'm going to give this a minute to see if it dries down. Then I'm going to do a kiss test on my hand to see how transfer resistant it is. As you can see, there is color already left on my hand from when I did the swatch. It hasn't like come off, so it looks like it might be pretty transfer resistant, but we're definitely going to test that out. And then after that, we will do our final first impression thoughts of everything that I picked up from this brand. Wow, I am definitely wearing a very dramatic look today. This is not what I had planned on, but yeah, it is very, very dramatic. Let's go on ahead and do our kiss test with this liquid lipstick. All right, as you can see, there's not much transfer in the middle, but on the outside, it's not fully transfer resistant, and it does feel still a little bit sticky, so it has not completely dried down. Definitely something to make note of. Let's go ahead and do some first impression thoughts on the products that I tested out today. The definite star of the show was the Pretty Precious Pigment Palette. I absolutely love this. I thought this was so beautiful. 3 mattes, the rest are shimmers. I would have liked to have seen a more even matte to shimmer ratio, but all the shades that I used today were very pigmented. They blended beautifully. They felt like silk as far as the mattes. I didn't have any problem with blending them out. The shimmers were absolutely stunning. This green right here, Euphoria, it's just such a beautiful, shiny, gorgeous kind of emerald, just jewel tone shade, just beautiful. The Twinkle Twinkle shade here, this kind of a granite tone. It's just so beautiful. I just love the way this eye look came out. It's definitely more dramatic than what I was going for, but I think it came out so beautiful. I really, really enjoyed working with these shades. As far as the face products, like I said, this is my first time ever using a cream bronzer. It blended beautifully. I don't have any issues at all with the way that it performed. It's just a little more cool tone than I would like. That's more personal preference than anything. This is something that I would see myself pulling out more if I contoured, which I don't really do. I prefer a bronzer that's a little more on the warm tone shade. The formula itself blended beautifully, no problem with that. Just personal preference, I would prefer something that's a little more warm toned, a little less cool. The blush I thought blended beautifully. Gorgeous formula. It blended right out over powder. I didn't have any issues at all. It just looks so pretty. My only kind of gripe would be that I wish that it looked vibrant and red the way that it looked in the pan. The shade that I picked up once again was American Pie, and it's just this beautiful, gorgeous, vibrant red in the pan, but on the face, definitely pulled more kind of a fuchsia pink. I wish that it was more red, but formula-wise, it was absolutely beautiful. The only face product that I just was not too thrilled with is the highlighter. Once again, this shade is in Sugar Cookie. It felt more like a lip balm type formula. That's the word that I was looking for earlier when I was trying to figure out how to describe it. Feels more like a lip product than it does something that I would put on my cheek. Instead of giving me the kind of a dewy glass-like, skin look that I would have preferred to have had, it feels more greasy, like it's too emollient. So it looks and feels more oily on the skin than dewy and fresh looking. So of all the face products, this was definitely my least favorite. I don't see myself pulling this out much at all. The last thing that we tested out is the Lip Fondant liquid lipstick. I'll be honest, I don't think there's anything special about this product. It performed just like most of my liquid lipsticks, my matte liquid lipsticks that I already have in my collection. So the shade is pretty. I do have other red tones, that I enjoy. So I'll be pulling it out and using it, but it's definitely nothing special. Doesn't really add much to my collection. So that is it for this Indie Spotlight slash Instagram made me buy it. I swear, I see so many independent brands that pop up in my Instagram feed that I want to test out, but unfortunately, I just cannot try all of them. Let me know, guys, down in the comments if there are any independent brands that you especially love and that you would love to see me try out. I love hearing your suggestions, what you guys think that I might enjoy. If you're new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my little family and hitting subscribe. Make sure you tap the notification bell so you get notified of any videos coming up. And you can also follow me on my other socials. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.